months ago that some of us got together, Shabnam, Leena, Raza and I, to create a platform which we called as India Inclusive, which would be a neutral kind of platform where we could address our worries, the way the country is going forward, and have a non-political platform. And with this, we had lots of young people who joined us, many of whom we are seeing who are working tirelessly around the clock. And it is because of their efforts that we saw a very successful conclave a few weeks back. And this conclave, during this conclave, there were quite a few issues that were addressed. But there are many issues that were also not addressed. Among them, one of them was the issues with the armed forces, the bureaucrats. There are also other issues, like the scientific temper of this country, issues with artists, performing artists, people who would, writers and poets. So there are many such things, and it's our desire to make this as broad-based as possible, take it to as many cities of this country as much as possible, to see that a certain viewpoint is also told to people who will come and attend this and raise questions here. The worry is that democracy in this country is challenged. Are we going towards a situation where the perils of democracy, I mean, a strong leader tends to be tyrannical and despotic. Institutions are there and manned by people who are seriously dedicated to protecting the liberties enshrined within the Constitution. We must remember not all threats to pluralism are of the same order. There are strong checks and balances which constrain even the most enthusiastic despot. What we see in the US, United States, where the press is very virulently against his shenanigans. In India, however, some of these institutions and some of the people manning these institutions have been weakened and undermined over the last 4 years. Also, surveillance meant for citizens' safety has started encroaching on citizens' freedom. And this turns a nasty regime into what we see today, a terrifying one. In the last 4 years, we have seen a systematic dismantling of these institutions and undermining of important people who manage these institutions. I mean, a few years ago, Mr. Modi and the BJP was able to cash in on the popular grievance that the UPA2 of status quo, liberal elites, etc., the grievance the people had. And they were able to identify the enemies whom the voters could blame. The Congress, the Gandhi family, minorities, some sections of the press, etc. Once in power, they're able to exploit fear and intimidation to a level where they can subvert the judiciary, the press, bureaucracy, and in some instances, even the armed forces. Now our individual rights and the rule of law seriously undermined, while the government still pretends to be upholding democracy. In our opinion, the final step would be to get the Constitution altered to suit their needs. Symbols like the army have been co-opted to further a political agenda. There has been no effort to modernize the army, no effort to try and improve the working environment, no desire to tackle issues like OROP, there has been no actual support, but there has been a lot of lip service. When we look at the bureaucracy, the think tank, the brains, people who work with a vision, who are there to improve processes and maximize resources, using bureaucrats to further one's agenda is something many governments have used. But at the present moment, what we see is a complete subservient bureaucracy, which has been made terribly ineffective. Look at the RBI, look at the Election Commission. There are two people taking decision for this entire country when they are not doing their politics and not traveling abroad. That's the time when decisions are taken. Quite clearly, there is a decision-making paralysis presently. And when things go wrong, like the way they've gone wrong economically and various other sections of this country, various other issues, then what you do is to arouse popular sentiment. You arouse popular sentiment to an extent that you can obliterate public opinion and liberal thoughts. They've been successful in whipping up nationalism to such a point that people are made to identify with nationalistic issues, not with economic or social ones. What is nationalistic is popular, what is popular is nationalistic. This is a dangerous and difficult situation to tackle. I think all of us need to get out of our little comfort surroundings and try and look at tackling these issues in our small little spheres. India Inclusive is a very, very, very small effort in that direction. And today, we are meeting up with individuals who have sacrificed most of their lives to upholding what we call safeguarding the Constitution and ensuring the independence and integrity of the civil services and the defense forces. These are people who have worked throughout their lives to see a good future for this country. With this short introduction, I will now request Admiral Ramdas and my colleague to continue the day's proceedings. Thank you.